Okay, so I've just finished going through the attendances menu item where we check to see who had been to what event, how many people have been to what event, looked at the details of that attendee, changed their payment status from pending to paid if you have any that pay offline, um, or that owe you money because they've gone to too many classes in a month or whatever. And now we're going to look at the sort of the most complicated bit of the manager resources, and that is to add an event from the front end. So when you're logged in, you've got the right access rights, access privileges. When you click on add an event, it will bring you to a page like this. And again, it's all fairly self-explanatory, but just along the top, we've got various bits of information that we'll need to fill in. It obviously starts on the page where we choose the category it's going to sit in. We're going to give it a name, choose a date, choose the location, should set the capacity, price per person. And again, price per person, you need to enter it, but if people are logged in as current members, active members, then they'll be in a certain user group where they'll get 100% discount off all the classes. At least that's the configuration for now, because Tom has decided he wants to manage the number of classes people are going to through the registrants list, and obviously double checking it there. But and obviously the fact is you guys will be aware of who's who and what membership they've got. They'll have a membership card which they'll be able to download once they've got an active membership, that you'll be able to see and double check against what sort of membership they've got. So if you see them several times over a week where they're only entitled to one, then you'll know that they're using too many. Certainly for the studio classes, that is, and be able to say something and charge them. But anyway, without further ado, we're just going to add a dummy event. I'm not going to save it because this is a live calendar now. It's up to date. It's got all the information in it. The website's virtually ready to go live. So I'm just going to fill in all the details, but I won't save it. But you'll be able to see how and what you need to do and fill in. So here, first bit, obviously titles, fairly straightforward. I've just called, each particular class by its logical name. So kettlebells class, TRX classes, HIT class, whatever. So I'm just going to chuck in here kettlebells. Below that, we've got the class category. It's important that they go in the right class category. So that the upcoming events, etc., show on the relevant pages. So on the kettlebells page or exercise pages, I've got upcoming kettlebells classes. So we don't want a kettlebell event to show up in boxercise, for example, because it won't show on the kettlebells page, but it will show on boxercise, and it will get very confusing. So just choose the right category. The kettlebells, obviously, it's in the kettlebell class. Thumb image. So in here you can pick out a relevant image. It picks off the photos off your computer. So here I am on my Windows browser here, just going through my pictures folder or whatever it is, finding the image that I want to apply to this particular class. Choose a location. Obviously, if it's kettlebells, then it makes sense that it will be at TLA Studio. But if it's a boot camp, sort of a specific boot camp class, a unique boot camp that isn't already in the calendar, obviously I've extended all the boot camp classes already through to the end of the year. So you won't need to do this till the end of the year, and it may be that you ask me to do it for you anyway. However, this is probably going to be TLA Studio, so I'm going to choose TLA Studio. Class start date, obviously I would expect that the class would start and end on the same day. So you can just click on this calendar and just choose your date. So for argument's sake, I'm just going to choose Sunday. Choose the times, 24-hour clock. So let's say it's starting at 9 AM, it's for an hour. So we're going to choose 10 a.m. for class end date. You can leave the class end date empty. It will assume it's the same day. Or if it is going to go on for a few days or whatever, then you can choose the day that it's going to be ending. So obviously I'm just choosing the same day there. Price, generally, I understand it's around about £8 to £10. I've already auto-populated the current events in there with the prices that are in the Booking Bug event calendar, and double checked against Tom's information. So they're already in there. I can't remember what they are, but I'm just going to chuck in eight for £8. You don't have to put the currency symbol in there. You don't need to put a pound sign in there, or that's already been set as default. Capacity 10, whatever it is. Again, it's down to you, down to the class. Maybe you're doing a unique outdoor class or something like that with lots of kettlebells, and you can take 20 people, whatever. I'm not sure, but that's up to you. Registration type, you can set it for group. You can set it for individual and group registration. If people chose to register a group, then they'll be able to say how many people there are, and all the information of all those other attendees. But my understanding is the way that this will be used is people book them one by one. They won't be booking in groups. Perhaps you'll do a unique one-off boot camp for a corporate, a business or something like that, and they want to book on 20 people, and you want to open that up to corporates booking 20 people at a time. In which case, set it for group. But for now, we're going to set it for individual registration. Cut-off date. Obviously, I've only chosen a few days in advance here, but you can choose a day before. And when that day passes, midnight, that event will state that it's no longer accepting entries, purchases, and people won't be able to book on after that. So if you have an event that you want to book, want confirmed list a week in advance, set it a week in advance, and it will manage it for you. Obviously, we're doing an individual registration here, so max number of registrants per group registration doesn't count, doesn't matter, just leave it 0. Published, it's important to click yes, because that's whether or not it shows on the front end of the website, so whether or not people can actually see it in order to register on the class. So you must put that to yes. Short description. This is what shows on the weekly view. You've got a brief summary of what the event is, and then when you click on that event, you've got an option to have full description, full information, and you can see here you've got a full HTML editor here, so you can add bold text, colored text. You can put a table in there. You can do whatever you like, just as you can in Word, for example. So in here, you can just put in a short description, and then a longer description, you can just put in load more information. Best to keep these things brief, to be honest. You'll get an idea from what I've written or what I've taken for the current existing classes in the timetable at the moment. But it's really just sort of one paragraph for the intro, and perhaps a couple of paragraphs for the full description. But you don't need to go crazy. People know what they are. If there's something unique about it, say so. But if it's a generic kettlebell, then just take the generic kettlebell text that's already in there. If it's a unique event, something different, something special, social events, etc., obviously, that kind of thing, then put in there as much as you like. It's down to you. So once we finish this page, look across the tabs. We've got recurring settings, group registration rates, miscellaneous discount settings, billing field settings, group member fields, and extra information. Really, the only things we're going to be using here are, if this is going to be a recurring event, weekly, whatever, then we'll click on recurring settings. So I'll just have a quick look at that. All fairly self-explanatory. We've all used calendars before, so you'll know what to do here. And it's fairly obvious. If it's no repeat, just leave it there. If it's going to be repeating every other day, if it's repeating every 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, whatever, if it's every day, then we'll obviously click on the radio button and put the relevant number of days that it's repeating on. Equally, if it's repeating weekly or bi-weekly or monthly or whatever, then you can put in repeat every and then 1, 2, 3 weeks. Obviously, you can see here you've got repeat every 1 month on whatever. That you can use if it's a monthly thing or more than 3 weeks. And we'll say here, so let's say it's repeating every week, it's repeating on a Sunday. That's fine, we can leave that there. Obviously, you can have it multiple days in a week as well. But for argument's sake, we're going to say every week on a Sunday. At the bottom here, it's important to put in how many times it's going to recur. For all the events that I've created so far, I've simply said recurring is going to end after date, clicked on the calendar, chosen the end of the year. So 31st of December. I've done that for every single event, every single class. So we will have to have, and I will put a reminder in to remind you, we'll have to have a review of events towards the end of the year if we haven't done it beforehand. So once we've set the recurring settings, you can see here there's a tab for group registration rates, only relevant if you're going to allow group registration. I won't spend much time on this. Obviously, you can apply sort of discount rates per size of group, as it were. So if you said, right, there's going to be 5 registrants in this group, and I'm going to charge them the full whack. 10 registrants, I'm going to charge them this much per person, perhaps £8 instead of £10. And then above 30, I'm going to charge them £6 each, or something, whatever. You can fill it in as you wish, but I think if you're going to go down that route, we have another discussion and we just test it and make sure everything's working okay before we start creating event classes for group registration. Again, miscellaneous. You don't really need to touch this. PayPal email is something that's set by default in the back end. However, if you have classes that you want a different PayPal account other than the TLA specific PayPal account, for example, if you've got an instructor that's coming in that is renting your place, and you want them to be able to create events, and they want the payments for those events to go into their own PayPal account rather than the TLA PayPal account, then you can override TLA PayPal account by putting in their PayPal account in there, the PayPal email, and that will override TLA and go straight to the instructor or whoever the third party is. Equally, if you don't want notification emails to be going to info@tlafitness.com, which is where the default will go to whenever there's a registration for the event or a cancellation, then you can put in that person's email address in there, and notifications will go directly to that third party that is creating this event. The one important thing about this page really, other than the defaults, is do you want registrants to be able to cancel their registration? So you can say yes or no, and then you can say, well, I want them to cancel 1, 2, 3, 4 days beforehand, and after that they're not able to cancel. Then you can set that cancellation date as well. Auto reminder, again, another important one. Yes or no. Obviously, I've set all of them to be yes, and I've set all of them to be a day before the event. So that's when the email will be sent out to all registrants of a particular event. It will be sent to their email address that they registered with, and it will be sent a number of days that you set before the event. Discount setting. I've set all the discount settings to 100% for registered members, so that there's no complexity or complication when they go to checkout, and they'll be able to not have to pay anything. I'm running out of time on this particular recording, so I'm going to quickly jump to the last field that's important. That's extra information, where you'll put in the trainer's name, and that'll show on the events information who the trainer is. So it will show up before people register, and you can type it in or choose from an existing list. So there you go. That's how you add an event. Make sure you click save.